Oh yeah? More like, oh yeah, this actually brings me to my first news article today. There's a new video game console looking to be released. It's actually been funded already, so it is 100% coming out. It's being led by Julie Ehrman, who looks to help build the first real open source console. Is actually being run on Android OS, meaning that you can do whatever you want to it, but some of the cool concepts that she does coin is the fact that you can hack it, you can root it, do whatever you want, and will not void your warranty. She's looking to have it like it was back in the old days where you can develop a game on your Apple II and play it on your Apple II. I don't know what she's really talking about because you kind of can do that now anyway, but to me, honestly, it seems like a glorified iPhone with a TV out cable because a lot of the games are for the Android iOS. Not saying that there won't be any content catered towards the actual device itself, but it runs the Tegra 3, so don't expect anything too much grander than games like Shadowgun, which does look great, but it might not look so good on your high definition TV. I like where they're going for it. It's an open source platform, sounds pretty cool, and it got funded $3 million in 2 days, meaning a lot of people know more than me. Next up is that Activision might be for sale. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. As you all know, the video game industry is slightly dropping in the amount of views it gets from the regular media and all media in general due to there not being that many new consoles on the way here, and a huge company like Vivendi, who has a huge share in Activision Blizzard, is thinking about selling their 60% off, which is going to be kind of crazy because the next company that takes that 60% from them, or whatever the majority share, will have all the rights to, or the next vision of what's coming to Activision, and see how they're going to actually move on in the future. Two of these big companies are Tencent Studios, which is a huge Chinese internet marketing media company. They already have huge stakes in Epic and Riot Games, so that should say a lot already. They got money. Next up is Microsoft, which isn't no slouch itself, meaning that Microsoft might have a stronghold of what we consider Black Ops 2 and all these new Call of Duty games, and they might see a reuniting with the Bungie Studios. It could be fun. We gotta hope for that. Next up is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure is getting a new game. Yeah, after about 10 years of not seeing anything, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure is actually getting a new title. It's kind of crazy since it's not actually being developed by Capcom like the original was. It's actually going to be a fighting game being developed by Bandai Namco, CyberConnect 2 to be more exact, the same people behind Naruto. If you guys know, they make some awesome, really flashy titles. I'm not gonna lie, some of their animations are the craziest I've ever seen. They also developed Asura's Wrath, but they are actually in charge of making the new Jojo's Bizarre Adventure game. But that doesn't bring me on to the next rumor, which there might be a remake of the original Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, an HD version of it, because there were some leaked images of the achievements that might be coming out for the HD version of the title. If you guys want to know more about it, it was a competitive fighting game. It was released on the Dreamcast, PlayStation. It had a lot of one-frame links, so you anime fighters out there, I know you guys are watching. Look forward to that. Next up is the Batman prequel might be taking place during the Silver Age of Batman. Not too sure what that means. I'm pretty sure that means the first time Batman met Joker in probably the more cheesier days before he became the Dark Knight. But according to Variety, this will have a huge take on stylistic. It's going to be heavily stylized. We're going to expect a lot of cheesy graphics, maybe some a cheesy way of actually portraying the story. I'm not sure Rocksteady Studios can do it because their gritty version of Batman is what people know them for. So going back in time, doing prequels, I generally hate prequels. They're kind of unnecessary, but who knows, the first encounter with Joker might be kind of awesome. But one thing I am actually looking forward to is the fact that they might not be using the Unreal Engine 3, and you guys can see sort of some shimmers of how the game might actually look. They've done some skins with the Adventures of Batman, which give it a more stylistic look to the actual Batman himself. You guys are probably watching the footage now, so yeah, looking forward to it. Prequels not so much. Next up is The Devil's Third is alive. The fate of Devil's Third is still being determined, but one good thing to know is the fact that it is back in the hands of Valhalla Studios, meaning Itagaki's dirty paws are back on it. So we're expecting this game to at least have some sort of, future, because you know what happened after THQ went bombed out for some reason was that a lot of these cool games got cut. What some other new news that came with this actual revival is the fact that it might be coming to some mobile platforms. If you guys don't know what Devil's Third is, you're probably watching this trail from 2010. It was a little rough around the edges then, but as you can see there, it does have Itagaki's flair. It does have that awesome stuff we expect from Itagaki. Maybe even being the Ninja Gaiden 3 we all expected. But either way, I want to end this by saying Jason Robin, please save THQ. Please save it. I'm honestly, too many cool games coming out. Hopefully, we can find Devil's Third publisher. Itagaki, you're the man. Next up is the discussion section. Yeah. So the question of today is, are we better off now that stop and pop shooters are the way old third-person shooters are being made? My short answer is yup, but there are many reasons for this. I want to start off by saying that in the early 2000s, third-person shooters were rampant and they weren't fun. They had no new mechanics, and a lot were doing nothing to alleviate from the formula. The best actual showcase of a third-person shooter without the cover mechanics was Max Payne. I think that was the pinnacle of it, and from then on it just dropped. Even Max Payne 2 was a lot worse than Max Payne 1 because it didn't offer that much as far as changing. Big point I want to mention is lock-on strafing is just as boring as regular circle strafing. You know, like we've been doing strafing for so long. You know, having a lock on a third person didn't make it any better. The market was congested with these kind of games, and honestly, nothing beyond Max Payne actually changed it. But I want to bring up my most memorable game of that involved cover was actually Kill Switch. I believe was the first game to use cover. I remember playing Winback from before, but it wasn't really that fleshed out. But Kill Switch actually has so much in common with Gears of War, and you know, besides Gears of War making it so popular, actually I thought it was the better game at it. The fact that, you know, Kill Switch actually had these AI opponents, you know, flanking, offering new things. They were actually coining these type of things back in those early days in 2004. It was actually developed by Namco. Big deal to me. Next up is the more design aspect of this, that screen realistic is really hard to come by. People don't realize that, like, having this huge avatar in the middle of your screen, and mind you, this is where widescreen gaming was budding. Like, a lot of people weren't using the horizontal real estate that often. So a lot of your gunfights were directly in front of you, and having to aim on these guys wasn't the easiest thing to do. I know RE4 changed that by allowing you to zoom in, but the fact was that RE4 came out pretty late in the lifespan, and games with cover-based mechanics already started to be developed. They kind of fixed the problem, but at the end of the day, I think cover mechanics helped make what RE4 started much better. If these games, you know, didn't come out, these cover-based shooters, stop and pop, I think the third-person genre might have died as we exist, because first persons did what third-person shooters did, but better. Mind you, there's still games with these older mechanics. I like to point this out only because, like, people think, oh, you know, I want to play my Jet Force Gemini, I want to play the brute force. Why would you do that? Or Advent Rising. The fact is they still exist, but they're in a different media. Is the place that started and the place that did it the best, first-person shooters. So you got your Painkillers, you got your Serious Sams, and you got your Dooms, you got your Call of Duty. So if you guys want that action pace, fast action, you get it there. Even some third-person shooters, I mean first-person shooters are opting for cover-based mechanics. Besides that, I don't have much time. I got so much to talk about, so maybe read the sides. All right, next up we have so much coming to FingerCramp, and this section I'm going to tell you about what exactly is coming. You know, I'm gonna scroll down and look at all this cool stuff. So next up is that we have a baby's guide coming. You guys should really look forward to it. It's going to be the final baby's guide of the series. So if you guys are huge fans of UMVC3, if you guys want to get it in the heads of top players, I'm going to try my best to dig into it. We're all going to try to do the research, and it's going to be the theories guide. I know we pointed that out before, but it's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to explain a lot of things that you guys have been asking. Next up is that we're working on more rehab guides. I know you guys love those series, so we got a She-Hulk and Wolverine guide in the making. I'm personally doing it. It's going to be pretty damn cheap because I'm cheap, and you can expect that I'm using these cheap brawler characters. I'm a brawler myself, so expect that, you know, these guys to be out really soon. I don't want to give a date on them yet because I want to make sure that I do justice by both these characters. Wolverine's already kind of done, but She-Hulk, on the other hand, you know, we got the booty drop, combo resets. We got all this cool stuff with her. Next up is, I know you guys been waiting for the FingerCramp tourney. Well, you might not have to wait too much longer. Huge announcements coming on that front. Another You Know is on the way as well. So I know you guys been sending your teams in, and we've been looking at them. You guys are awesome. Next up is, you guys seen the discussion section. I want to hear what you think about what third-person shooters, if it was better for the genre, how it actually progressed. Was it bad or worse, or if I'm stupid, or give us an idea for next week's discussion question. Thanks a lot. This has been FCSpan. Hack out.